We say, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Christian Ballard Sports Media, coming at you with a quick video and update in some Alabama recruiting, more so transfers. Obviously, having about 12 different players, honestly, just kind of transfer out this offseason. Maybe it's not 12, I don't know, but it has been quite a bit. But one that did enter the portal that had yet to land was one in who is it? Oh, Kaine Williams. Now, Kaine Williams is a great athlete. He was not good enough, though, to where he worked his way onto the field at Alabama. He was very highly recruited, a great prospect from this past recruiting class. He committed back on May 15th, 2020. And he had signed for the 2021 class. When you look at his recruiting profile and everything about him, here he is in his jersey, did play a little bit in the national championship against Georgia. Of course, the Crimson Tide falling short in that game by 15 with a pick six. I give Georgia credit. But when you look at Kaine Williams and just overall how he is, I think that this is one of those prospects here or players, however you want to put it, that I think could ultimately work his way onto a football field somewhere. And he has decided to go to Nebraska, or at the very least, you could pretty much say that's where it's going to be, as according to multiple sources, but what I'm reading from Omaha.com, from Sam McEwen, Nebraska offers scholarship to Alabama transfer safety in Kaine Williams. And we could take a look at some of his highlights here. There's so much to love about this kid. There's so much to watch about him and everything that he can do on the football field. He's a very versatile defensive back, and he's really, really good on defense, good in coverage. Take a look at some of his highlights here from high school. He did play a little bit of receiver, but mostly, for the most part, he was good off the edge as a defensive back. You see him circled there, and he just kind of pushes you down. He hits you hard. He hesitates a little bit, which I think is a con. You know, when you weigh the pros and cons, you want to be quick right out the gate in football. So he does hesitate a little bit. But I think he's one of those players that he wanted to go to a big-time school, but you got to have a certain level of talent. And this is no knock on Kaine Williams. I think that he's a great athlete, but overall, he needs to be at a lower tier school like Nebraska, I think, where, you know, there's not a lot of pressure on him to build himself up, to develop, to get ready for the next level, potentially, if he does go to the NFL. I don't think that it would have been a place at Alabama for him necessarily. I think with, number one, the recruiting aspect of it. I mean, Alabama recruits like crazy all the time, you know, and this guy was 11th as a safety in the 2021 class. He was 7th in the state of Louisiana. Alabama just recruits like crazy all over the place, all over the football field. So it's not that he shouldn't have gone because he never would have been on the field. It's just it would have been a lot of competition, you know. And look, I understand. Look, here's how I view it. If you go to Alabama and you know there's guys ahead of you, you know that you're probably going to be buried in the depth chart, but you stick it out and wait. For example, Mac Jones. Think about it. A few years ago, he was like third or fourth string. Nobody knew who this kid was. He was a 3-star recruit out of Jacksonville, but he stayed and worked his way up. Kaine Williams could do that. But with how the recruiting is going, and because in his same class, I mean, this is the 2021 class we're looking at here. This had like JaQuincy McKinstry and company. You know, this had so many different prospects and recruits that are also working a little bit harder to work their way up. So, I mean, not only is Kaine Williams down on the depth chart, he's buried in the depth chart. And again, that's not a knock on him. He's a great athlete. When I watch this guy play, I see a guy with great versatility. I see a guy with great speed, can get to the football, can get to a receiver, can cover a receiver. He played a little bit of receiver even in high school. So he can catch the ball too, and he's got some good speed. He's got a lot you can love about him. Kaine Williams does. A 4-star safety recruit, like I said. I don't think that a school like Alabama, Georgia, Clemson, I don't think one of the top tier schools would have been the exact place for him. But again, it doesn't matter here. I mean, he can force a fumble or two. He can do a lot. He can hit you in the mouth. He can move around. You can use him up front. You can use him in the backfield, mostly in the backfield on defense. Nebraska's offered him a scholarship, right? And that's a big deal. Scott Frost offering a scholarship. When you choose a school, that's one thing. When a school reaches out to you, that's a completely different story. He's offered a scholarship. Now, it's not official that he's going to Nebraska, but there's a great possibility that he could obviously go there. And if so, does it give Nebraska a leg up on defense? I think it definitely does. And maybe something like this, forget Kaine Williams for a second, is something like this, getting a player from Alabama on scholarship to give you an extra piece on defense. And again, it's a long shot, but part of doing stuff like this for Scott Frost is what could turn the program around in Lincoln and figure some things out for Scott Frost and the Cornhuskers. But anyway, that's going to do it for this video. I saw this news. I figured I would give my thoughts on it and break it down. Alabama fans, Nebraska fans, really college football fans, let me know what you know about Kaine Williams. I've only heard the name once or twice before. I remember seeing him get signed by Alabama. He was kind of buried in the depth chart. He just never had enough to work his way onto the football field. And Alabama, of course, just recruiting defensive backs like crazy. It's very hard to work your way up in a depth chart at Alabama under Nick Saban. It really is. You got to earn that spot. Not that he didn't necessarily like have the work ethic. I've heard a lot of great things about him, but you know, he's transferring out. I think it's what's best for Kaine Williams. Is Nebraska the right place, though? They're offering him a scholarship. You got to think education-wise, you take it. But if he wants something good in football, if he wants to ball out, you know, and maybe go to the draft in future years, is this the right school? It's a great possibility that it is. Nebraska has produced some guys in the draft in recent years, so they can, and especially on defense, they can recruit. They can get some guys on the next level. But we'll see what happens with Kaine Williams leaving Alabama, offered a scholarship, going to Scott Frost and Lincoln, Nebraska. But again, I love you guys. Jesus loves you. We wish Kaine Williams the best of luck. Don't forget, it is, as I record this, it is Friday. I'll see you live tonight for the draft. Please like, comment, and subscribe right here to Ballard Sports Media for more sports content. And until next time, folks, Ballard Sports Media checking out. Love y'all. Peace out.